Hi.
Other action figures each sold separately. From
Record the purr.
Jenny, get the door. It must be Cousin Willie. Okay. Hi. What's up?
Ah, there we go. Something chill to watch. The following video is rated R and is intended for an adult audience. So if you're under 18, take a fucking hike, eh? As this video may contain adult themes and situations, strong language and opinions, good and bad advice, cannabis cultivation and consumption. So as long as you're a responsible adult, kick back, spark one up, and enjoy the show.
And works only occasionally.
Oh, we gotta hit that. It says it's 5 dabs. We gotta turn that down. Is everything turned on? Yeah, everything's on. Hi, everybody. Bunny will be with us very shortly. She was just finishing off her makeup. Oh. I'm still groggy from sleep. I didn't sleep very good last night. I was up. My legs were bugging me. I get like restless leg syndrome and cramps and stuff in my hips and my legs at night a lot. And it gave me grief last night. Oh well. I got a jumbo coffee right here, waiting for some cream of the stoned cow. There we go. I'm still drinking on that Christmas spice mix that that I got a whole bunch of those pods real dirt cheap at Christmas. It's hot. It's a hot one today. Speaking of which, I'll just put it right back on my coffee warmer there and keep it warm. So you guys remember that slab of Shatter I had last weekend? It was the Oreos. The slab of Shatter has now buttered up and turned into this opaque, greasy, sticky, terpy mess. So I'm gonna bro science you here for a second. From my understanding of how this works is if left in warm temperatures, the terpenes kind of activate and start working and doing their thing. And terpenes are a solvent. Thus, they dissolve some of the matter of the integrity of the shatter starts eating itself. And similar to diamonds, it sort of crashes out and a diamond-like crystalline structure starts building from within the shatter, and eventually it all comes crashing out and becomes this sort of wet sand kind of a material. This is what happens if you don't refrigerate your extracts and keep the lids on them and keep them in the fridge or something like that, where they won't activate like this. But that being said, this is delicious. It breaking down like this is not flavor-wise a bad thing at all. It's kind of fucking amazing. The terpenes do something and become more powerful and are just friggin' yummy. Hi, Bunny. There we go. I thought you were gonna wear your New Year's today. today.
I forgot about you.
Sorry. I was looking at them. Excuse me. Anyway, I'm gonna have a big old dab off this big old slab. It was an 16 or an 18 gram slab. It is now probably about 9 or 10 grams. Cheers. Wow. Woo. First dab of the day was a strong one today.
Like I'm actually just gonna clean you. You can sit.
Oh. So, Colleen, I gotta ask, what do you mean by graphics have definitely been updated over the years from puppets? I have a funny feeling what you mean, but I'm curious what you actually mean by that. There we go. I was wondering why that was so foggy. Oh, afternoon, chilling. My friend chilling, working ready for dab. Just rolled a doobie, sir. Oh, hey, you know what else is not happening? I forget this almost every Sunday, and I'm going to get to it before John says, hey, where's the animals?
Meatballs.
Yeah, I forget, like, almost every Sunday lately. The last couple of Sundays, for sure, I've been forgetting about doing this. It's not a big deal, but some people like it. I don't know if anybody hates it, but there you go.
I like the meatballs.
Yeah, I was talking about it last week, and I didn't do anything about it this week, but I still, on Sunday sessions, I'm reminded again that I do want to check into the boss fight things and see if that's something I can do. I'll have to well, I don't have to test it during the week. I can test it on a Sunday session, I guess. I just have to test it on a stream where there's people here, that's all. Where there's more than 3 people or whatever. I don't know. That could be any time, I guess. Just found your channel last night, new sub. Hey, welcome aboard the good ship Canterbeard. How you doing? Thank you for the subscription and coming on in and hanging out with the Sunday session. This is the Sunday session. We do this every single Sunday unless we're sick or away, and even when we're away, we try to do it. Yeah, this is episode 285? Wait a minute, did I count the... Hold on, I need to check something here real quick, like. Beard. There's a...
Bread.
Like that?
Yeah.
Man, there's a guy making canna bread. That frickin' Meow-worthy or whatever her name is, the Meowthy. I think it's supposed to be like mouthy, but it's Meowthy or something. Anyway, whatever. That loud girl from Twitch that keeps raiding me.
Okay.
She calls me canna bread. She even drew a picture of it. She thought it was the funniest thing that and so many people do. It's really funny. When I come into other people's chats and stuff and I say hi, they go, hey, Canabread, how you doing? Like, God damn it, don't you guys read?
They do, but they're either like not fully looking or.
Oh, I'm very dyslexic. I don't have any.
I can look at something and see something different, but it's not really the letters switch place in that manner. It's just I skimmed it wrong.
Sunday sessions. Let's look at the last Sunday session was sort by what? Why is this sorting all weird? By newest. What? That's not at all true. I'm trying to find. I'm looking at my channel here, right? Oops. Fuck. There we go. 84 and today is 85. Okay, I did do it right. That was way more complicated than it needed to be or than it should have been. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to figure out what episode number last week's were. I wasn't sure if I actually changed the number on it or not, but I did. Any luck finding a new place? Yes. Yes, we did find a new place.
Oh, I remember someone asking me and I didn't quite know the answer and they were confused as to why I don't really know the answer. Because I'm not really...
Well, yeah, we tentatively found a place. We made a handshake deal with the fella. I haven't given him a deposit or anything, so anything could still happen. I'm not trying to jinx it, but just saying the reality. Anything could still happen, but we tentatively, yes, found a new place that'll allow us to keep our animals and yard and gardening and yeah. It's gutted right now. It's like hollow. They gotta like rebuild the place, but they have till summer to do it. So hopefully it'll work out fine. We'll probably be moving in sometime in the summer, early summer, midsummer, something like that.
I'm like detached from this in an odd way. I'm okay with it.
From what?
Moving. Basically the information about it.
It's dab time, motherfucking dab time, time to take a fucking dab break.
This little container. I put some of that Blue Dream Live resin into it.
We're most likely.
Oh yeah, the freshie.
I love the chickens. I'd love to say I love the bunnies just as much, but
we're probably gonna keep the rabbits, but I am considering finding them a more loving home. Not that I don't love my rabbits, I just don't. Some kid would play with them and feed them every single day and give them treats from the yard every single day.
I'm more concerned, like indoor-wise, about Pepper trying to do something to the rabbits.
Yeah, we can't bring the rabbits in anymore. Yeah, that's the fact that we have cats now that are, you know, jerks sometimes to small animals.
I've just seen prey drive in some of my cats, behavior-wise.
They're a little bit okay with the rabbits because they see that they're also a pet, like we're petting them, we're not.
But then that's the other thing I'm thinking about, is rabbits got strong legs.
Yeah.
And I feel like Yolandi's got some sass, so she would. Because Stu is...
Pressed some Z Skittles, nice.
Oh. Stu is a soft teddy bear. Yolandi... a little sassy.
Yolandi's a little more. She has some. I've never been bitten by Stu, but I have been nipped by Yolandi.
Yes, I have. It hurt.
Yeah, it was just a nip. Like she was just telling me she didn't like how I was holding her or whatever. Yep. When I was trying to get her upside down to do something, she nipped me. But
I was trying to get her to clip her nails.
Yeah, I think that's what it was too. I was going to say I think it was me flipping her upside down to do her nails that got it. That
For
did
me, it was when I was going to get her out of there to clip her nails. I usually don't like to press and be aggressive and I need to catch you, but I remember catching sight of her claws and it was like, okay, you need to do that.
Beard, I've been sad today. Uh-oh. Well, cheer up, my friend. Like me saying it is going to really just make that happen like snap, but, you know, don't fret. I want some of the green crack, which is in the corner of this. Oh, can you hit my dab count? I had a second one already. This is about to be my third here.
Apparently, George Foreman passed. With Guy at the end again.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know him well enough.
The lean green, or the lean mean grilling machine.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was gonna say, but that's about as much. That name doesn't have a face. That name has a grill that comes to mind, not
It's
a
a
face.
smiley, bald black man.
Still not.
Really, hey, George Foreman. He used to be a boxer or something,
That's what I mean, for me,
George.
he has a grill in it that comes to mind, not a face.
Oh yeah, he died. He died 2 days ago. On the 21st, he died. Yeah, he's a pretty smiley guy. He looked like a nice guy. But yeah, he was a boxer at one point.
I didn't watch sports.
I didn't watch boxing either, but I know that. Oh, how about that? Yeah, he's kind of an old legend, that dude. I mean, it always sucks when people die, man. You know, like whether you knew them or loved them, somebody did. So it doesn't matter who they are, really, unless they're, well, there are people that technically deserve to die, but they're probably a small ratio of people, and I'm not going to get into that. But you know what I'm talking about, I'm sure.
Yes.
Fuck. Whoa.
Yeah, but a good portion, I guess.
Gentle George. Yeah. He looked like a super nice guy. He was always smiling. I don't know anything about him, to be honest. I've passed that. How old am I? That's not a very polite question to ask an old lady like myself. Shit. Like 47? 47.
I am the worst person at, like, number-wise.
$48 maybe? Shit.
I need a calculator.
Yeah, I don't know. Somewhere there. Let's just say late 40s. How about that?
And for me, a good portion of, like, my life was reading.
Lois. Hello.
He has a couple of sons. Or a bunch of sons.
All four of them are named George? Really?
Weird.
That is weird. Well, we got like George 1, George 2, George the 1st, George the 2nd.
That's why I was
third,
like, are
fourth.
they all together? Then how you call...
Hey, George. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, God damn it. The 4th.
What
Weird.
A weird way.
Santa Claus is like, 64 over here. All right, you win. D says, I'm 49, thanks. Nice. Okay, well, it's kind of in the similar age group. Yeah, everybody, come on. Let's hear how old you all are. Feel free to type your ages in here, everyone.
No.
Bunny is between 20 and 50 years old. Somewhere in the middle of that.
There's a T-Rex in there.
I look 38. Aw, thank you. I got good genes. My mom is like in her late 70s and looks like she's in her late 60s. The only thing that's really making my mom look old is the fact that she finally let her hair grow the natural color, which is very gray.
My mom has not done that yet still.
No, I convinced her. I was like, stop. Her whole head was like fucking black and red and stuff. She had all this weird scalp stuff. I'm like, your hair's thin, Mom. You gotta stop dyeing it. It's just dyeing your scalp and it looks really weird.
It does at a certain point.
And, you know, I said, you look good. I said, look at your sister. She looks great with her gray hair. I said, I bet you'd look good with her gray hair. And she does, but it ages her. It instantly makes her look kind of closer to her age.
Yep.
But my mom does have young-looking genes. She's not a wrinkly old person. She has a good face, as do I.
My mom's siblings, but my mom is the youngest looking out of all of them, and she's not the youngest. She's in the middle of the pack. And I guess physically, she is still fairly fit and... what's the word I'm looking for? Active. There we go.
Yeah. 66, 49, 46, 54, 49. Another 49. Jong says he's 50.
Cinnamon buff.
I've been smoking weed since I was about around 15 or something, I guess. I was about 15, 14, 15. I smoked my first joint. I remember it very clearly. We had a boarder, a room and board boarder guy, real nice guy. We were walking the tracks. We do this walk along the old railroad tracks. No trains use it anymore, so it's kind of abandoned, but it's a good walk. It's a long nature walk. Oh, kitty cat. Hi, kitty. We used to go along this thing, and he stops on this bridge, and he sat down on the side of the bridge, and he says, I'm gonna smoke a joint here. Just sort of, I don't know, keep yourself busy or something, right? And like my dad smoked pot. I knew my mom smoked pot a little bit, not very much, but a little bit. I knew what it was enough, but I was like, this guy was like an older brother kind of scenario to me. He lived with us for years. He was a good old dude. His name's Dick. Richard. We called him Dick. I thought it was cool because it sounded like a swear word when I was a kid that I could say out loud, and it was his name, and I thought it was funny. Anyway, this dude, I started asking him all these questions about it. I said, what does it actually do? Like, why do you guys smoke it? Like, I don't even understand why you guys smoke cigarettes. I get that when you drink beer, it makes you woozy and it makes you feel kind of warm and funny or whatever, and things are funnier and whatever. I get that sort of, but like, what does pot do? And he says, very similar, just different. Same thing, but different.
I'm gonna go about 13, 14, but when I truly started, it was about 3 or 4 years later.
Yeah. Anyway, that was my first. He says, do you want to fucking puff? Like, after me asking like 20 questions, he just sort of says, do you want to just try it? I won't tell your parents. If you want a little puff, I think a little puff would probably give you a real good feeling of what it's like. One little puff, considering you've never smoked it before. And I hacked and hacked and hacked and hacked, gave myself a big head rush, but felt pretty weird. And that was my very first doobie.
That actually funny. Bad,
I had one puff off it, but that was my very first time.
I started smoking like cigarettes before I started smoking weed, but it didn't last very long.
I remember.
In fact, cannabis took over the cigarette spot. It was just like.
I sort of refer to my first time smoking pot as this time with my buddy Eli when I was a little kid. He says, "Hey man, I want you to watch this cartoon. Or I want you to watch this show. It's really funny." And he's like, it's my mom's movies or whatever. I thought he was putting on porn, to be honest, because the way he was all sneaking around about it. It was Cheech and Chong's movie, Up in Smoke, the OG Up in Smoke movie. And he was all weird about it, and he put it on, and he's like, check this out, man, it's funny as hell. And I didn't understand any of it. I'm like, I don't get it. because it's a stoner movie and it's about stoners, and I was a fucking kid and I didn't really smoke pot yet. Sort of. I tried it like months earlier, like a puff or something. Anyway, long story short, he says, it's not funny because we're not high, so let's get high. I know where my mom keeps her roaches and stuff. We can make a joint out of her leftovers. And we didn't know how to roll, so we took one of those cigarette machines, those chunkers with the tubes for making cigarettes. You put tobacco in there. We just lined up a bunch of her roaches. We didn't even cut them up because we don't know anything, right? We just stuffed it full of roaches and chunked a roach cigarette, and then went out back behind the fucking barn thing, and shed barn, whatever the fuck it was, and proceeded to smoke this fucking thing out back. We got over halfway through it, and we're starting to like barf and stuff because we're not used to smoking cigarettes or anything, right? So that was rough.
I'm really glad.
But man, did we ever get high
from cigarettes or cannabis?
I consider that my first time because we were actually stoned and we were under our own. It was me and my friend experimenting under our own sort of cognizance. It wasn't just like, here, have a puff. You know, it was like, hey, let's actually give this thing a test drive. Anyway, yeah. Cheech and Chong. I actually I jokingly thanked Cheech and Chong when we met them at that frickin' thing. We got some pictures with them, but we met them at this thing and we smoked a joint with Tommy.
I don't think I did frickin' even clean that vest. I was like, I'm not cleaning this vest. You're just going to sit there.
It smells like a joint that we smoked with Cheech and Chong, sort of. Cheech wasn't smoking any. He was like, he was being weird. He was like, my wife's in the fucking limo and she'll kill me if I come back reeking like weed. So he kind of walked off while we were all in this, I don't know what it was. It was like a conference room turned lounge for the afternoon. They like, yeah, they got all the tables out of there and just.
I tried both of the wines and I was like, no, I don't like you. I'm just.
Oh yeah, they had wine and stuff. That's right.
I tried both and I was like.
But they had wine glasses.
No.
Wine glasses full of joints.
That I took a lot of.
This
joints.
is a little bit pre-dabs. This is sort of like when dabs were just starting to kick off, so there was nobody dabbing. Somebody might have had a dab pen or something.
It was a bit more of like at the fun phase, not quite like serious. Like,
yeah, it was just there was just joints all over the place for people to be smoking on, and it was a meet and greet thing, and it was some publicity thing for the company. But we won a contest, so we were there. Well, I won a contest, whatever. It was you and a guest, so yeah, that was really trippy because like. If I remember correctly, the first person didn't respond to them in 3 days or 4 days or something. It was getting close to the event, and the original winner hadn't responded, so they fucking rolled again and got my name. They said, I hope you don't mind us telling you the truth here, but you're the second pick. The first guy didn't show. He just didn't respond to any of our ways that we reached out to him. And it's coming up this weekend. We'll pay for your gas or whatever to come over, and we went over and we walked on the ferry. We didn't drive, did we? Did I drive? I had a car. I had my truck. Did I drive?
I feel like I do remember driving.
Maybe. I know we got lost in Vancouver. I remember me and you getting lost in Vancouver a couple of times, so maybe. I don't remember. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. They paid our way fuel and ferry fee and stuff to come over and be part of their meet and greet and part of the promotional material thing for them. And I made a pretty good I made some good contacts there. That's where I met the fellow that owns Coastal Mary Seeds. That's where I met him. Was at that event. Yeah. I had a good little run with Coastal or with Crop King. It was Crop King Seeds at the time. They're still Crop King Seeds, but first time. Oh, I didn't even read that. Sorry. Santa Claus says the first time I ever did acid, it was Orange Sunshine. 4-way, did a quarter, had to stay in a treehouse for about 8 hours. I thought I was gonna fall. Good old acid, man. I sort of recommend it to everybody at least once, but I also say stay away from that shit. But it changed my outlook on the world.
I was gonna say, is that where you opened your brain?
Yep. It changed the way I look at everything in a really sort of positive way, and it made me change my life path. I was a pretty horrible little kid. I was a delinquent, and I fucking saw I saw everything so clearly, and it was just like, I'm fucking being this horrible person, and I'm just like, I don't like what this is gonna bring. I know what this is how this is gonna end, kind of thing, and I don't like it. So I changed everything. I woke up the next morning or next afternoon probably. But yeah. I remember lots about that. My first acid trip, that was trippy, man. Literally, it was world altering. I can't do that shit no more, man. That stuff's crazy. That's for fucking young, strong-minded, strong-bodied, and healthy pups, not for.
I like mushrooms.
Yeah, a little bit of mushrooms here and there is all right. Gee, but we've been getting money microdosing for a while now, and it seems to be sort of
a mix up like having actual like.
Hi, Pepper.
Aww.
Hi, Pepper. Come here. Come here. Come for some pets, little girl. You're gonna come up and harass me and claw at my crotch. Come for some pets. Oh, thank you.
Headbutt.
Yeah, headbutts. Oh, Instapurr. I got her motor started. Our cats come and bug us a lot when we're doing this stream thing. I'm surprised Canda's not here. Is he just down the hallway?
I don't know. Nope. He's not actually right there.
Hi, Pepper.
Usually.
Oh, you're being all lovey.
Biscuit.
Yeah, she's biscuiting my arm. She's pulsing, like, not quite using the claws. She can feel it, and as soon as she sort of feels a tension, she like pulls them back. She's being good. Aw. Little Pepper. Little purrs. She's like a black hole. You can't see where her face is sometimes. She's just this darkness. You're very like self-camouflaging. Yeah. Pepper.
Apparently you look like a truck guy.
Like a what?
A truck guy.
A truck guy?
It said it up there. On that one.
I had a Ford Ranger with jacked up back tires that looked like a stupid Mad Max wannabe truck.
That one was seen everywhere.
I loved that truck. That was funny.
Leg tail.
Happy kitty. Aw. Coming back up for more headbutts?
I want back here.
Want to come back up here? Is that what you want?
No.
Nope. Kitty. I say it often. We won the lottery. We won the kitty lottery. We got really cool kitties. Okay, I'm gonna put you down though, because I want to dab, honey.
I guess I've never pushed it in a long time, but mushrooms, you need a person of full trust to take care of you when you're tripping. For the most part, I'm okay. Like most of the strains.
Depends how much you take.
Yes.
You know, if you take a fucking half ounce or something, yeah, you might need a caretaker.
420, I
If you
had
take
a
a couple
good
of
amount.
grams, you'll feel all right.
And I remember you laughing because I was like, I have an awareness that person has a head, but that person doesn't look like they have a head, so it's freaking me out.
Yeah, so there was this guy with this costume. He was like looking out of his tie or something, and he had like his shoulders here. He was like a headless guy. It was like a costume or something at this event that we were at, and she was like pretty ripped on mushrooms, probably about 1/8 of mushrooms.
Yeah.
So about 3.5 grams or so, something like that. And enough to get pretty fucking up there and like almost seeing hallucinations. Like what was that? Like borderline hallucinating at
I
that
had a lot
point.
of dabs that
Maybe
day,
even a
though.
little bit of hallucinating. But anyway, yeah, she was like tripping out on this dude. She's like, I know that I'm on mushrooms and I know that that guy's fucking just wearing a costume, but my eyes see it and my brain is trying to register that that's real and I hate it.
Yeah.
Pretty much, you were like, that is freaking me out, low key, but I'm being okay about it. I'll be okay, but it is kind of freaking me out a little bit.
I couldn't stop focusing on that person. It was like, they're bugging me.
I had a Pacer once, worked for American Motors. Okay, so then you know the vehicle I have then, or had. It was I want to say it was like a 97 Ford Ranger, standard. It was standard, and it had some weird engine where it had 8 spark plugs for a 4-cylinder. It had dual spark plugs going into each of the cylinders. It was a 4-cylinder, and there was a direct hookup that you could hook a fucking a turbo onto it. The engine was used, the same engine, exact engine was used in a Mazda and I think a Mustang or something. There was like 3, it was a 4-cylinder that they used in like a couple of different vehicles, and there is a turbo that can come off of this other car that bolts right onto it. It just fucking plug and play like Lego almost. And I had a lot of work done to that truck, and I sold it for fucking change because I had to, because we were moving and I had to get rid of it. Yeah, 2.3 liter. That's what it was. Yep. It was some bizarre engine. I remember taking it to a mechanic once and he was like, what the fuck is this? And he had to look it up and he was like, dude, this is a weird engine. This is a pretty rare engine. There was like a lot of these made for like a small window of vehicles, but like, he goes, I've never fucking seen one of these before. I tripped him out that it had 2 spark plugs per. Says, this isn't an 8-cylinder. Why does this got 8 fucking sparks coming up here? What the fuck is this? Something like that. I don't know. It was a trippy truck anyway. I liked it.
I've heard of them, but it's been... You could not ignore that truck. As a person sitting in that truck, it's not an ignorable truck.
Well, I was a tattoo artist, and I wanted my vehicles to be flashy. I wanted my vehicles to get attention. I had like those big magnets of my company and my .com domain. Yeah, I don't know. It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I sold it for chump change when we moved here. Less than $1,000. I couldn't get what I wanted for it. There was just no way. Just no way. Something's weird with my coffee today. It's okay. It's fine, but it's not as good as like the last few of them. I don't know. Maybe I didn't have the right sugar ratio, or I don't know. Extra spark plugs was more spark for the turbo. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't have the turbo on it. I was like in the process of looking into it and getting it added. But when you do put a turbo on it, you gotta like re-outfit all the rings on your engine, because you start getting like extremely compressed combustion, and you need to make sure that your engine block can even handle it. So there was like, I don't know much about fucking engines at all. I put oil in them when the fucking oil light comes on, and I put gas in them when the gas light comes on.
And then recently we did something else that I can't remember what it was, but it made the car happy.
Oh, transmission fluid.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Because I just remember someone listening to your car for a second.
It was doing
and they're
something.
like, oh, it wants this. And I'm like, I would not have understood.
Yeah, my brother knew what it was. Yeah, it's much better now, though.
Car needs this. I would not know that. It's just a car.
Yeah, I don't know shit about cars, really. Although at the same time, I did disassemble the spark, or the carburetor on my old motorbike. It was a CB250 bobber, and I destroyed, something happened, and I disassembled the carburetor, and just people kept telling me it's going to cost you like $500. I mean, I was pretty poor back then, but he says, you know, I'm still pretty poor, but he says it's going to cost you like $500 to get it fixed, or you can fix it yourself for like $100. You can buy the kit online for like, you know, $60 or something like that, and you can fucking fix the thing yourself. It's almost guaranteed that this is the problem, and you just gotta, you know, replace this and this, and it'll all come in the kit. There's like a big sealant kit and stuff, and I did it, and it fucking worked. It took me, I had to disassemble it the first time after I reassembled it because something didn't work, but when I put it back together the second time, it fucking worked. And that bike ran for a long time, and I fucking rebuilt the carburetor. And I don't know shit about fucking any of it. It was so good. It was YouTube and like photographs. I was like printing off things and stuff, and I was like labeling it and numbering all the fucking bolts and taping them to a piece of paper. I wasn't fucking around. It was scary, man. It was terrifying. I thought for sure I was never gonna get my bike back together. That I had tore something apart and I was not gonna get it back together. And I did.
would not ever do that.
Yeah, it was a spooky operation, but I did it. Okay, what do I want? What is here? Oh, you know what else is not out for display, but I do have it. I don't have much of it left. I sent half of it away as a gift.
Oh.
But there's some yeah, here we go. Well, about a third of it. There was like it's green crack shatter, by the way. Sorry, here. I'm showing Bunny but not showing you guys. Right here. It's pretty thin. Green crack shatter. I bought these they were 2-gram packets. For the price of a normal gram. They were like, it was some blowout or something. It's a good fucking price, and it's pretty darn good green crack, if you ask me. You know what I noticed this morning? The two transplants are drying up and curling. I need to put those moisture domes back on them. They're not ready for open air yet.
I thought you would just put that on to keep the cats away.
To keep the cats away?
Yeah.
That also keeps the cats away. Yeah, the cats have eaten a couple of my babies a few times.
It was really funny because it was like, I could see that you're very mad, but you cannot be mad fully at the same time.
I'm gonna save the grow pics. There's not very many entries in there this week, and I don't want to just show like 2 pictures and then be done with it. So post more pictures, people. I don't like spam it or anything. I don't even mention it most of the time, but post your pictures on the showcase section on the Discord, and I'll show off your grows. Oh, num 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 num. Auto pots. I had no luck with the auto pots when I was using them, but I don't think I understood a lot of the things that needed to be done, and I'm pretty sure that the new auto pots, they got a new system now. They got new float valves, thicker hosing, a whole bunch of shit now. The auto pot's been upgraded a bunch. I bet you the new ones would work just fine. I'm currently using this thing called an air cube system. It's a little on the pricey side, but my God, is it ever pretty much the perfect growing automatic watering setup for like cocoa and stuff. You can't use, that's the only thing that kind of sucks with it is you can't use soil with it. It's not a soil thing. It's kind of runs on hydroponic stuff just because soil would gunk up the lines too quickly. because it's a flood and drain system. You can't suck mud water back into it each time without it building up and causing problems. It's pretty good now. Yeah, I bet you it would be. I kind of tore them a new one with my struggles with it and stuff, and they sent me the free Autopot system back in the day, and I think that I soured them because of how uncorrectly I was using it, and how I kind of badmouthed it the way I did, and I just struggled, nothing but struggled with it, and then gave it up. But to be fair, it was the old models, and those old models were kind of finicky, and they weren't as consistent as they should be. The lines were just too small. It wasn't, I don't know, I couldn't get it. It wasn't working for me. I know lots of people that have had good luck with it, but not I. I'm very new to cocoa. The biggest problem I'm having is getting the seedlings going from seedling, from like germination up to like a couple of leaves, couple of good leaves, and it actually doing vertical growth. That section right there, I'm struggling with when it comes to cocoa, because of the fact that cocoa is a zero nutrient substance. It has nothing to offer the roots. So if you don't feed it correctly, yeah, J-Win wins. You, the J-Win Wolf. Yeah, so if you don't water it exactly correctly or do things exactly the way it wants, it's gonna fucking struggle and give you grief the rest of it. And I think I might even have two strugglers here. I'm pretty sure from the looks of it, the two transplants are, not loving life. I think I need to just at the very least put that dome back on them for a bit. I think they're not quite ready for this level of how dry the room is, even with that humidifier.
How tall are they, like this tall?
No, smaller.
Oh.
They're like this. The two transplants are a solid week of growth behind the other ones. The other ones that look like that. The other ones look nice. Check out Friday night's show. What's growing on Cannabeard Grows every Friday night. It says something about the cocoa air cubes and stuff. That's the show. What newts? Currently, I'm as I know how to friggin' mix it properly for the seedling up until the stage that they're kind of in right now. Still, I've been feeding them Emerald Harvest 2-part just because I know it quite well. But as soon as I turn the auto watering system on the air cube system on board, it's going to be getting pH perfect advanced nutrients 3-part setup with not all the bells and whistles, but most of them. I got most of the extra little things I could find that were the extremely important ones anyway, like your Cal Mags and your macros and your frickin' bloom boosters and your fucking, where you really need it. I've got my own. I got a couple of bottles of assorted root hormones. I've got, at this point, a couple of bottles of different CalMag supplements, even though I did buy the correct CalMag through pH Perfect, just because I wanted to make sure I was using their line correctly, give it a real shot. Yeah, people like that one. I did a vote on my channel. I did an episode where I said, what nutrients should I use? And I put up, I think, 4 or 5 options I was looking at. There was a Canna Grow, Canna, I think it's called, actually just Canna, C-A-N-N-A, was one of the ones. Hell, I even put on fucking General Hydroponics on that list. That was pretty high, though. One of these days, for fun, I am going to regrow with my General Hydroponics salts that I've had since I very, very first started. because I actually had pretty damn good luck with those things. That was the stuff I was using back in Victoria.
Okay.
It was just the bags of like powder, and I would just dissolve it in water and stuff, and that shit worked good. But I don't like the company. I don't like using that kind of nutrients anymore. I want to grow as organic as possible, but that's outside.
Found a little white worm eating my germinated seed, so I didn't make it. Oh.
A worm eating your germinated... How the fuck did a worm get into your frickin' seed? Unless you mean like in the soil. Bummer.
Yep.
I use general on dirt. Yeah, I like hydroponic, or sorry, organic stuff when it comes to dirt in my yard. I'll use a little bit of Emerald Harvest stuff, but for the most part, I use Gaia Green top dressing kind of stuff, and I'm trying to anyway. I'm trying to live by the ideology of feed the soil, not your plants. Make your soil alive and healthy and thriving, and then your plants will get what it needs from it as long as it's all there, which is kind of true. And I mean, of course, you gear it a little bit different between veg and between flower, but for the most part, it's just about keeping the soil biology, man. It's trippy, and I fucked up my balance this year, and I just burnt everything. I think the soil was too rich. And I think the greenhouse was just too fucking hot for those little baby autoflowers. Like, they wanted about 10 degrees less. It was, 90 to 100 in there most days. Too hot. I love Gaia Green, man. I buy big pillow bags, 20 kilogram bags of it. And it's lasted, they last me years. I quite like it. I've grown cannabis under it many times. I definitely like it, but organics bring bugs and smells, especially due to the fact that you're kind of trying to create a living biology within your soil mass. And I do add certain beneficial things like nematodes, the Stereocoppa pipilis mites, the grub grenades online. Grub grenades. There's that's a mite that lives in your, so it's a beneficial mite. It won't fuck up your plants or anything like that, and they don't live in the plant. They live in like the lower areas, like the top of your soil, which is one of the reasons you need to give your a top of your soil like life as well, which is why I always seed it with when I'm doing those kinds of grows, I'll seed it with clover. So I got a big clover like grass sort of coverage over the soil, which allows hidey spots for the beneficial things. And yeah, it's living soil is pretty trippy, and you do kind of want to add some small cover crops. Clover is just like kind of the best super all-arounder. Plus, it adds nitrogen to the soil, and it's just a good one. It's very top heavy. So, like even the roots don't dig down really deep; they kind of stay right near the surface. So when it comes time to get rid of most clover, except the really big frickin' those when they congregate into those big bushels and create the super clover nodes. Except for those, clover is very light carpeting. Yeah, it's pretty trippy stuff.
Nematodes, just in case.
Yep. I've used nematodes more proactively than reactory. I don't think nematodes are a fast alternative to dealing with bugs once you've got them. I think once you've got them, you got to do other things. You got to frickin' smoke your frickin' plant. You got to wash your plant. You got to spray your plant. You got to do something more reactive than proactive. Whereas if you start proactive, that shit won't even get a chance to kick in. You got those grub grenades and stuff. Those mites eat spider mites and shit. They go up into the plants and look for stuff to hunt. And they stay down there. From my understanding of their base of biology, they don't want to live up in the trees. They want to live down in the grass, which is, like I said, why you give them a nice clean area to do such. I don't know. Again, I've done a lot of reading. I've done a lot of watching YouTube channels and lectures talking about, you know, soil biology and all this stuff, and it's trippy stuff, man. When you get into some true organic soil, it's very cool. And I got two really, really good sources of organic compost that I have access to. I've got chickens, so we got chicken poop. And in their coop is all hemp core. So it's basically hemp chips and chicken poop wads. And I go in there and I kind of sift out, grab the big wads, throw it into this bin, throw it in a compost bin, and we sort of fucking turn it and do its thing. Speaking of which, that one compost bin is wet as shit. We gotta throw a whole bunch of dry in there to balance it out. I don't know how it got that wet, but it really truly is.
I haven't seen them yet.
But I got a worm farm. We got rabbits, and rabbit shit is amazing, amazing stuff. You can literally sprinkle it in every goddamn plant you have, just like a top dressing. And as rain hits it and breaks the poop down, it's really good shit. And it's instantly biolely available. You don't need to age it like you do with chicken poop and stuff and other animals. Rabbits poop organically available poop nutrients right away.
Let them
won't burn anything.
Actually play together as one of them would need to be fixed.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's what we do. Maybe that's the move in the new house. Maybe we finally break down the wall between the two of them and we fix one of them.
Because right now it's then we can like make a little hole. Boop, maybe.
I think the easier, when it comes to the doctors, the easier surgery is the male. So it's also cheaper. I know that, like when it comes to cats and stuff, when you're getting neutered and spayed, neutered is cheaper because it is an easier process. So I would assume that's the move we should do, is neuter Stu.
Does he just become more gentle?
He's already super gentle. He's already a cuddle bug.
Yes.
For a rabbit, he likes cuddling.
Yes. Wrong too?
A little bit. Did I count that dab? Can anybody confirm? I don't think I did.
Oh. Not sure.
I don't know if I did or not. Let's get some freaking census from the audience. Did I just count the dab there in the last minute or so? Yeah, I had a bit of a harsh throat from the dab there, and I don't know, I just splashed some coffee in the wrong area or something. I don't know what happened. Yeah, I use Dr. Zymes and other very similar things as a spray, due to the fact that it's those things like that are not gonna, they're not gonna fuck up your grow or whatever, and your plants can kind of absorb, for the most part, most of what's in the spray. It's just enzymes and fucking citric acid shit, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that. There's another really famous one called it's called like M3 or M2. That's another fucking some sort of living enzyme based fucking killer that infects bugs, but like nourishes, that's the word I'm looking for, nourishes plants or something like that. Weird stuff. I don't know what the I don't know what this year is going to bring as far as being able to grow outdoors, just due to the fact that we're moving, and I don't want to move a whole bunch of stuff, but we're definitely going to have some things. We have to make a census for a few things. I unfortunately, depending on the time, I don't think I'm going to have zucchini this year. I don't think we're going to do any tomatoes this year, but it's okay. Honestly, we've still got, we canned a lot. We canned 2 cases of tomatoes, and we've only just dipped into it. We had a bunch still already we were working on from the year before, and we just finished those. So we've only just started now dipping into our last year's crop of tomatoes.
I didn't expect to have that many tomatoes, but I think I put a star somewhere in one of my books about the 2 that we noted that did the best. And one of them was a bush tomato.
Yep. Yeah, there was one tomato that
little bush tomato.
There was a lot of yield on that small bush. The amount of yield on it was 70% tomato.
Yeah.
And it was impressive. That was a
vine
real producer.
That made just like great.
Big ones, yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, so I don't know what we're gonna be doing this year necessarily for outdoor growing. Probably, like I said, no tomatoes. We might have a couple of potted peppers.
I have a couple lettuce types. I don't know.
That can fit into small, like, row pickup basket-y kind of things. Those long baskets I got.
I think they'll be like about this much space each.
Yeah, those are pretty easy, and those will be done by summer anyway. If we plant those like now-ish, we should like another 2 weeks, and there's something we can probably, or we just throw them in the greenhouse right now. We can put them in the greenhouse. It stays warm enough in there.
Aren't lettuces
not
like
freezing.
In some of the cool?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, it's still cold in the greenhouse, but it's warmer. It's
cold.
warmer in there than it is outside. That's all.
Yes.
And it's not frosty. It won't get the frost. That's the important thing. It's the frost and those flash freezes at night and stuff when it's still dipping below that hurts baby plants and stuff. That's why that doesn't happen to a greenhouse.
One thing I do know, even though it's because they're close to the main house, is I've seen a couple be hardy enough to keep on surviving.
Well, it doesn't happen as much to a greenhouse.
No.
But yes.
Just ones that are outside that, like, in my garden out back, I'm like, there's a couple plants that just come back every year.
That's something interesting we kind of learned about growing here over the past few years, is you want to get things that are acclimatized to wherever your growing zone is. You want to get as much local stuff and regrow local things as much as possible, or spend a couple of years acclimatizing your favorite new tomato strain or something like that. But
ones I noticed that just do good in this environment that don't have to be from here, that are just...
Yep, there is good ones for here already that work well in this. Absolutely. But it's what I'm saying is if you get one that's just out of the range of what you want it to be, you can sort of push it by growing it anyway and take its offspring, and each year take seed from it each year and keep doing it, regrow that seed the next year, and each year it's going to get a little bit more acclimatized and maybe shift its growing season a little bit more to accommodate what you are growing.
I want to do that, but with a couple different kind of strawberries I found. Strawberries.
I'm glad. Half our strawberries, only half of them, but half of them came back up this year so far.
I didn't know you need to start them
like 2
so
bins.
Early. So it's already a little too late for some of the ones.
Strawberries are almost like true outdoor strawberries that aren't those weird like evergreens and stuff like that.
Everbearing.
Yeah, everbearing. As long as it's like the real ones, the real strawberries, because it's like the autoflower of strawberry almost, right? But the standard normal ones are pretty friggin' hardy, and they're very similar to like garlic in the aspect that they kind of want to overwinter.
Yes.
They like overwintering quite a bit, actually. That's a good way to do them, is you trim them all back in the fall, you get rid of all their deadness and all their dead runners and all that blah, 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 blah. Keep your rows the way you want them, and then just cover them with a bunch of hay, just like you would with garlic. And then come spring, clean off that that hay a little bit, and off they'll go. Yeah. Gardening, man.
There's a couple.
I never in my wildest dreams of my youth thought that I would really enjoy having chickens and gardening like this. Like I do.
I kind of wanted it, but I lived in a big city. Vancouver is not an easy place to find a garden. Or at least I don't know where one was.
Oh, hey, Kiana. Hey, buddy. My coffee's almost done. What time are we at? Oh, okay. Merle. Kiana. There we go. That's the end of my coffee. I think I got one more good dab in me here. What do I want? Do I want the straight up green crack? No, I think I want, well, you know what I really want is I want some of this. Yeah, I think if I'm gonna go out, I'm gonna go out on the best flavor I got in the house. Yeah, I'd buy a fucking little bit of pre-made, maybe like 2 jars a month.
It's dab time, dab time.
And I wish it wasn't even that much, to be honest. I'm not a really big fan of supporting this, but this is the best tasting shit I've ever fucking tasted. It's so good. I really hope that is. Oh, son of a bitch. It's sat sideways and is all over the lid. Oh yeah, and it's in there too. I'm gonna have to. It smells amazing though. Ugh. It's all, it melted. It was sitting sideways like this, so it was all over the lid, and it kind of leaked out into the cap a little bit. So that's going to be a bit fun. And I'm going to have to be careful because you don't want to hit this with like an open flame, really, because it'll burn off the terpenes super quick. And this is like, that's sort of why this is good. It's because the terpenes are amazing. But if I just leave it in the room like this for a bit with the bottom flat, it will slowly, like fucking honey, drip down like that. There should be like at least a whole bunch of terpenes living up in the tip of that.
It looks like mostly like a lot of sweat.
That's that good terpene stuff. Where's my pen? Where's my pen? There we go. Mr. Jong. Red, hey, welcome. Welcome to the sesh. I sent one of these to Mr. Jong. We're doing a big giveaway and he won one of these pens. Oh, they're a little bastard to get the tip off sometimes, but that's my only complaint is the cap kind of sucks. It doesn't come. I wish the cap was magnetic, and I wish that the tip was a little bit in there more solid. I know you can it's meant to take it out and replace the tip, but I still wish it was a little more solid than it is. Okay, hold on a second. I can't see shit with these for a second. Trying to do precision things in the dim lit room with fucking sunglasses on. Okay, and a little off the edge. Now I'm just gonna drip this straight into this cap that I've been smoking on. So that's what it's good for right there, is it heats up and just bloop. There we go. Anyway,
Hi, Katie.
there we go. Now I can have a dab of that. The cats are orbiting us now. They're plotting against us, I swear. Well, they're plotting for the fact that they think that they're going to get fed now, because they probably are going to get fed. But about this time, they're like, it's past 1 o'clock, Beard. Your show's over. Feed us. Feed us.
Yes.
You guys got kibble upstairs 24/7. You guys never don't have kibble for more than like fucking 10 minutes. And you let me know if it ever runs out.
I'm really glad they're not one of those cats that really just stuffs their whole face with the mouth open like this.
That is really funny though. They're not very messy. They do have a boot mat around their food thing to help make sure that any kibbles and shit that do go flying don't make too much of a mess. But yeah, I've seen really, really messy eater cats for sure. They're not too bad.
Just had a gummy.
Woo! Here we go. This is Pineapple Express live resin over top of Blue Dream live resin. Cheers.
Oh, I liked the blue dream. I love the peppers.
I didn't want to let go of that. That tasted so good. Oh my goodness. As soon as I got it in there, I'm like, It's all like slightly piney and lemony and like and weedy. That's yummy. Meow, 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 meow. Oh, you starving to death? I don't know. Pepper. I think you guys are pretty well fed, actually. Canna is not underfed. There's just no way.
We were just talking about like a wheel or a treadmill. If I put ham just out of reach, would that work? I feel like it would.
Yeah, it's a mixture. This one right here is the Blue Dream, that smooth sort of like subtle flavor of the Blue Dream with some really, really strong Pineapple Express overtones, which is really, really sweet and I don't know, I want to say piney. I don't know if that's the right flavor. I get a little mixed up in my mouth when it comes to terpene profiles, but it's something. It's good. Oh, num 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 num. How much is in this? Just it's all the terps. A lot of the liquid terps are. I should have known better. It came out of a fridge. I should have taken it and opened it and just placed it vertical, because it was sitting in that bag somewhere, potentially upside down even for a while.
Our cats are not quite the sharing type. They do, but food and treats is kind of like they have their own.
Yeah, we split the things, and there's things that like Pepper doesn't want. She turns her nose to.
Yep.
Canna will eat almost anything. There's things that he's like absolutely goo goo gaga for, cuckoo for cuckoo puffs or whatever for. Sandwich meat. Mostly ham, but like sandwich
Pepper,
meat.
I've seen her lick it, and that's it.
She doesn't
walk
care
away.
about it at all.
She's
Yeah.
like, no, I'm good.
Pepper's very, very picky when it comes to that kind of food stuff, but she has some sort of food allergies. She absolutely does. The doctors said after we took her to have her ears checked because she was having some serious problems for a while, she says, I bet you that she's allergic to chicken and poultry. So make sure when you're feeding her that you feed him fish-based or beef-based, but no poultry. Look at the freaking ingredients.
On my plate, and she's like, no.
Yeah, she doesn't like chicken at all. She knows better. But do you have any idea how hard it is to find cat food, wet cat food that doesn't have, or even dry cat food that doesn't have chicken byproduct in it? It's fucking insane. We're talking about maybe 10 or 15% of the market has no chicken product in it. Everything else that goes from fish to beef only has fucking chicken filler in it. They all do. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Once we figured out that was her problem, we're like, "Phew, there's this very small window of like, and half of that window is like vet shit where it's like super expensive and made from like potatoes and fucking
We found
raw
one
meats
that
and stuff.
thankfully is not like you buy it at a vet.
Yeah, we found a couple, but it's rare. There's like 10 flavors in the supermarket, and one of them is actually, or two of them, we can feed our cats. It's kind of, well, we can feed Canna anything, but we can't chance it, so we just feed them both the same thing. They're both just getting like almost an exclusive fish diet, which stinks like hell. Blech. They get a can every day, or sometimes we skip a day occasionally, but they get a can of cat food basically split between
Chicken
them every night.
everywhere. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it's
is
crazy.
everywhere.
It is in everything. I like chicken, but like, my God, trying to find shit without it was a task for sure.
But
Yes,
you're
little-
happier now.
Yep.
And now you
Pepper's
don't
doing a lot
stink.
better.
It's weird. She doesn't think. I didn't think she stink, but she does not smell. the same.
She smelled weird. I didn't say stink, but she smells weird, or she used to smell weird.
Yes.
Yep. Diet is a lot on the animals. I mean, they can't tell us what's wrong, which really sucks. What's wrong, Pepper?
Well, she did, but it was just like the breakout reaction it was causing because we didn't know, so it was the only food. So she avoided it, but she still ate it when
She had to
really
eat.
had to.
She's got to eat, but that's the thing. We're feeding her chicken stuff. Because that's what we were kind of focusing on with Canna. I didn't like the smell of fish food stuff, so
Yep.
we went almost exclusively the chicken picture, and then that was making her sick, and we didn't know. Couldn't figure out what was going on, and once we did, that's
She'd
what
make
it was.
Weird noises and kick her ear for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, she'd get ear infections and stuff from it. Weird. I had a vat, a cat named Pepper. Yep.
Yeah, she's Pepper. I don't know. Is it just because you like peppers?
Well, there was a bunch of people in Discord chat at the time, and we were talking about names because we just brought her back, and her name was Vanessa still from the
Yep.
vet. And
I
we
did
hadn't
not like
named
that
her
one,
yet.
though.
We had her for about 2 days before we started before I brought that up. But part of me, since Canna is named like cannabis. Whoa. Hey, welcome.
Black and white. She is like black and
Black and gold.
yes, gold.
She's a calico or whatever. She'll poop. She's unfixed too. So if we can ever figure out letting her out in the neighborhood at the right time or something like that, and she comes home, she'll plop out orange cats, orange babies. You'll give us orangies.
She also doesn't have a very.
I kind of hope that we
annoying-
don't, because we're gonna want to keep one,
I know.
and we don't need 3 cats.
No.
3 cats? We'll totally keep one. If she gets pregnant, we're gonna have to keep one. We'll be like, no, I want this one. It's so cute. I love it. It's my best friend now. And they'll be like, fuck. And then we'll have 3 cats. And then there's just, ugh.
Well, then we're not getting rid of the old one when the new one works, but I can figure out some way to make that one. Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah, no more cats. But she is unfixed still.
She does not have the worst heat noises.
She doesn't do it very often either. And then
No.
she's pretty chill. She's just annoying for like 2 days. And very cutely annoying.
She throws.
Yeah, I don't like talking about it, but we lost our last cat to the vet doing a fixing process on her. There was a problem with the there was some problems. I don't even want to get into it, but the vet, it wasn't necessarily the vet's fault, but it just happened, and she died in getting spayed.
Her heart
so
was
I-
big.
Yeah, she had heart problems and stuff, and it fucked up with the anesthetic and stuff. But anyway, that's one of the reasons we haven't gotten her spayed, is because I'm just straight up gun shy as hell. I would rather deal with her going through a little heat once in a while versus going through that fucking heartbreak again, man.
There are times where I usually
awful.
kind of just give her catnip because I think of it.
God, I don't even want to talk. I don't like talking about it. It makes me gutturally sad. Because that little bee was a magical little cat.
Well, I mean, I'm better now, but it was just like she just knew love for her whole.
Yep. She had a very short life, but all she knew was like massive amounts of love. Canna loved her. Canna was head over heels for that cat. Can't want to talk about it anymore. Dad, happy 420. I'm gonna have a dab here on the way out.
I got it. But I forgot to bring a drink.
There. Oh, so good. That's such a nice mission. It's mostly the pineapple I'm tasting, I'll be honest. There is some other stuff in there, and I'm sure it's getting up in that mix a little bit, because when you heat it and you're touching around in different areas in there, you're hitting all sorts of stuff. Because I didn't mix it perfectly. There's like some caked stuff on the lower walls, and then some sort of more wetter stuff I put in there. So, I don't know. I'm touching all sorts of shit, but I definitely am tasting that pineapple mostly.
Oh, I already did.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let's do this.
There you go.
Did that work?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Okay, everybody. I'm gonna go do some stuff. I'm gonna go let the chickens out for a couple hours. I think it's a nice enough day today. It's been pretty lousy for the past few days. It's been coming and going. We've been getting really, really nice days. It's warm and sun shines out. And it's like winter and your birds everywhere. And then there's days where it's like miserable and cold and frosty. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? It even snowed a couple days ago for about 5 minutes.
But it melted.
No, it snowed all night. And we woke up to like a totally snowy yard and the whole car covered in snow. And by the end of the day, it was all gone.
So yeah, it was melted by the end of the day.
You couldn't even tell. Maybe in the shadows there was like a little drift of snow that was hiding in the corner, but it was done.
Yep.
Anyway, have yourself a wonderful day, everybody. I'll be back with some updates on next Friday for the cannabis show. And as far as Twitch goes, hopefully I'll be back later tonight with some more of that vampire game with my boy Zeta. I've been enjoying the replay of that with someone else. It's a neat game, but it was far better with friends, for sure. Anyway, have a good one, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers. That I gave Bunny about a 3-gram blob or something like that. Yeah, whatever. I'll take the fucking view, man. I'll take the aerial view. That's pretty cool. Oh no! Ah! Damn it!